Hey, good evening, guys. This is Shriyasha from Crazy Money Tree, and today we will be talking on what exactly is this press conference Nirmala Seetharaman ji, the finance minister, did, and what is the effect of this on the stock market, and what is that you need to actually do. Let's understand a lot of these things. I'll explain you the technical factors. I'll explain you the uh, uh, influence of whatever they have talked about it in the short term, medium term, and the long term. See, the most important thing you need to understand what exactly did Nirmala Seetharaman ji propose and what is the effect of that overall to the market. Let's understand this. The first and foremost thing is they are proposing to make something called as DFI. Now, what is DFI? This is actually this is on one second. This is on the it's a financial institution mainly for the infrastructure. What they want to actually this is a division of infrastructural development. Financial institution. Division of financial institution. I don't exactly remember the exact full term. It's a financial institution. It's meant for the infrastructural development. That is the main thing. And now the main factor why this becomes important is they are making this as a complete bank itself. And the whole purpose of doing this is they are going to issue bonds. So this is going to be tax-free bonds. So the tax-free bonds and the tenure could be quite high, maybe 30 years, 40 years kind of a thing. And they're doing this mainly because they have talked about the infrastructural development in the budget, and based on this they're planning to raise more capital. So understand the effect of this, what exactly is they doing and what is the whole plan, why are they doing. You need to understand this completely in detail. When you understand this, you will understand the depth of this whole thing. See, short term things may actually go up down, anything is possible, but in the long term this is something which is going to be extraordinarily good, not for one part of the society, it is for almost every other person. So why and how it is important, let us try to understand. Now, what is infrastructure? They are talking about the physical infrastructure here. And when we talk about the physical infrastructure, it could be anything and everything. It could be your transport, it could be the rail, roads, and almost every other sectors. Whether so, it could be something related to the ports, something related to the air, or related to air fires, and it could be related to the roads, rails. Almost every other things are going to come here. So the whole purpose of why are they doing this, that is very important. Why is infrastructure important? See, the whole purpose why they are getting into this infrastructural development, this was something which was long time pending task. Now understand this, they are trying to compete now from the Make in India perspective with China. And if you look at the infrastructural reasons why actually it makes a huge difference. Today, if I have to send a courier parcel from uh, Bangalore to Delhi, for example, it is going to cost me a good amount of money. Um, Roughly, I will tell you somewhere around at least 100 rupees or 200 rupees. It could actually cost me. It depends on what kind of parcel I'm sending. I want you to understand the difference. Now, with this money, much lesser than this money, I may be able to get the same parcel from China to India. Think about this. Think about the kind of infrastructure which China has built in over a period of time, mainly to improve on the infrastructure. Now, what is happening is we are trying to get into full on into the manufacturing, and because we are getting into full on manufacturing, the infrastructure plays a major role. That is what is going to get more and more companies to come to India. So that is a more major motto is that. So understand this. If more and more companies are going to come to India, more and more money is going to come to India, more and more of this is going to happen. Now, how is that going to help? It means more and more jobs are getting created. When more and more jobs are getting created, that is going to actually influence every other thing. Understand this, guys. When uh, let's talk about the IT industry. Around 20 years back, nobody had any idea about the IT industry. Just because of the growth of IT industry, you could see a huge shift in almost every other economy. Now, the similar such thing now they are trying to bring out with the manufacturing. See, we are very good in the knowledge base. Like for example, whether it comes to the pharma field or in the IT field, we are very, very strong. But when it comes to the manufacturing, we are still not that strong. But if you look at the cheap labor compared to, if you compare, we are actually almost at par with the China. Now, the main difference is they have much better skilled laborers compared to here. That is where a government has been focusing on the skill development. Skill development. You might be remembering what they have been talking about, Skill India and other things. They have been doing a lot of work. Groundwork has been happening from ages, and they have been doing from the time NDA has come into the government. They have been doing that, and now they have been working on reforming of the labor laws and so many other things they have been doing. So the groundwork actually has got done. Now is a time where they are actually trying to expand. So if you understand this, you can understand it's going to be overall development for almost everybody. So that is one thing. But let's try to look at who are directly benefited because of this. The direct benefits is one for the infrastructural development. So infrastructure means there'll be a lot of roads getting built. There'll be a lot of what do you say, dams could get built. It could be what else? It could be that houses are getting built. So there could be a lot of actually factories getting built. So the things which are going to be very, very powerful, who are directly getting benefited, is number one, anybody who is into this infrastructures. So who are the companies which could be into infrastructures? Number one, the reality sectors is going to get benefited a lot. So reality sector, so sir, think about all the big players in the market. They could actually get benefited. DLF could be getting benefited. It could be Godrej properties, they can get benefited. There are many other people who are into similar field. You can actually look at that. Take the top leaders. Now next, who is getting benefited? Indirectly, when they are going to build buildings. So the immediate beneficiary is the steel companies, the cement companies. So these are going to be the direct beneficiary again. So cement companies and steel companies. So cement companies, top cement companies. It could be Grasim, it could be Ambuja Cements, all the top Ultratech Cement, ACC, all of them, they can actually get benefited. Now, from the point of view of steel, JSW Steel, Tata Steel, Hindalco, all of them actually they can get benefited. So this is to do with the steel sector. So steel, cement, infrastructure company, realty companies, these are some of them who are directly benefited. There could be some other infrastructural related to ships, docks and other thing, ports, and also Adani ports can again get benefited because of this. So you could see that they have been moving a lot. I think this is going to again trigger them. So we will see some of these stocks and we'll see if there is any opportunity for tomorrow. Let's actually look at that also. At the same time, who else can get benefited? See, understand this. Right now, we have got one of the news from the budget. So, which is to do with the infrastructure. They have come out. There is also a possibility, very likely, that they may actually again come out with some news related to the automobiles, because I am seeing some automobiles have started moving quite a lot. So that means auto sector can also move up now. So that can also happen. And so anything related to budget, whatever have moved, probably there is all the possibility they can actually start moving right now. So that is something which we can actually look at. But let's actually go ahead and see some of these stocks, and let's look at the index, where exactly we have the challenge and where is something which can give a big trigger. So let's actually look into that. Let me remove this and let me actually understand this clearly. Where actually, let's look at Nifty first. Now this is about the Nifty, and if I have to look at Nifty overall, it has taken some support yesterday and we have traded inside that range itself where yesterday we had moved. Okay, let me put hourly chart here. So overall, what I can see is, guys, what has happened is we are moving in this range. One second. Just a minute. Okay, let's look at this. We are in this range. This is a place where actually it is stuck as of now. So one second, I don't know what is the problem. Okay. So the lower end, what I can see is it is somewhere around 14,700, 750. Here there is a good amount of support and there is a lot of supply which is actually at 15,100, 150 range. So this is what is happening at this point of time. And once it is going to break this barrier, I think there could be a substantial move. Till then, I think it will be continuing to be in this particular range itself. Other than that, I don't see any major challenge. Now, because of this news, if we are able to break this barrier right now, there is a lot of possibility that we can move higher. So we need to break this barrier. The biggest barrier right now is, first barrier is this one, which is yesterday's high, which is around 15,050. That is the first barrier. The next barrier will come somewhere around 15,200 and 300. These are the important barriers. If we can break this, this is the most important barrier. If we can break this, there can be a substantial up move which is quite possible, because until unless we don't break this portion, this is actually where there is a big resistance. The main challenge is we have been able to move above 15,200, but we have a big problem staying above 15,200. I think this is the, what is the closing here, 15,245, 15,200. Yeah. See, every time if we look at the closing, it has not been able to stay above 15,200, not more than one day. 2 days we need to stay above 15,200. If we can stay above 15,200 for 2 days, I think all the selling will go off. But right now there's a lot of volatility which is there, and probably volatility is going to continue until unless volatility is not going to get stable. I think we may be in a range itself. But if we can break out also, it's very important for us to book profits, and we have to be ready, because see, you cannot expect the kind of one-sided move which was happening earlier. One-sided move, whatever was happening earlier because the valuation wise it was quite okay. But right now the valuation wise is not that great. So from that perspective also, there could be some challenges which we are going to face. So this is from the Nifty perspective. Let's look at what is happening in the Bank Nifty perspective. Let's look at what is happening here. In the Bank Nifty also, we are in this range. We have got stuck very, very badly. This is the range we have got stuck. Okay, on the lower end, which is around 34,800, 35,000, this is the lower end. At the higher end, it is around 37,000. So that is where we have actually been stuck. So the right now we are at the support level. So I think the buying interest is still there. In the yesterday and today, there has been good amount of buying which has happened in the futures. Now it's going to only confirm when we are able to see that we hold 15,000 and we break 15,050 and actually start trading about that. Once we are able to do that, then I think bulls can become more stronger and active. We need to also see today what is the data which is going to come, because from the last 2 days the data which has come from FIs have been negative. Today I hope that the data could be positive, and if that is positive, I think it is also going to again give an additional confirmation that buying is happening at the lower levels, and they have been selectively buying which stocks, because there could be a lot of sectorial rotations which is happening. See, what happens is, guys, not all the stocks are going to go up at one go, or not all the stocks are going to come back also. So what happens is every quarter, see, now January, February, March, so that is one quarter. Now quarter is getting over, so what happens is after the quarter the results are going to come from April. So what happens is during this period there is always, they would change the sectors also. A lot of times they would actually change the sectors, so stocks are going to get shuffled, and the shares are going to get shuffled. So what happens is that is going to happen in the next couple of days. That is actually for maybe from this weekend onwards, there will be a lot more volatility which we can expect. But right now, let's see how actually things are working. So this is one thing. This is for the bank nifty perspective also. Yesterday's high is very important for us, which is 35,550. So 35,500 you can take, 35,500 and above. If we start actually trading and hold that, I think there could be a good amount of buying which is going to come here also. 36,000 and above is very, very important. That is where actually it can really get some strength. So this is from bank nifty perspective. So let's see which stocks. So we were talking about some of the stocks. Let me see what is happening in Tata Steel. Let's take some steel companies and let's see what's happening in Tata Steel. Tata Steel, especially right. Let's look at this. Okay. It has been trading in this region. Okay. For the last 2-3 days, we are in this region between 720 to 740. 720 to 740 is the region which we are trading. As long as we can break this barrier and start moving higher, I think there is a good amount of move which is going to happen, because this is where we are actually getting stuck. So as of now, we are still in the same range, and let's see if there is any. Yeah, it looks like the buying has actually started coming in. If you look at this, it has there is a good amount of buying which is happening at 718, 720 level. So we need to break this barrier of 740. So once we break this barrier of 740, I think there could be a good amount of move which is possible in Tata Steel. So let's look at some more stocks. Let's see if okay, let's actually do the sectorial thing. Let's see if we can see some things in the sector directly. Is it actually all the sectors are actually doing fine, or how actually it is working? Let's see. Yeah, sector is somehow trying to take support here. Okay, for the last 3-4 days, we are actually taking, it's a good strong support. What I can see here, it's a good strong support. So let's see if the buying has started coming. Yeah, looks like most of the side buying has actually been happening. This is happening from 10th onwards, 10th, and this is on 16th. So there is a, see, if you look at this, there is a higher top which has formed, which looks pretty good, and this sector looks quite promising. And after this infrastructural movement, I think there could be a good move which is going to happen, but it could be in a sideways movement. What I can see here also, it could be in this range only, and it needs to break this range for it to move higher. So let's see what's happening in JSW Steel. Okay. Okay, 1 second. Okay, guys, I think we are, if this is going to break out from here, I think there is a good up move which is quite possible. It is somehow trying to take some resistance, but if it is going to break this, looks quite good for me. Yeah, it has actually taken the support quite good even on the daily and the weekly chart. So it has actually started moving inside this channel, which is a good one because we had actually started going drifting away from there, and from here it has started moving up. It is looking good. JSW Steel is looking quite good. So let's see what is happening in the hourly chart. Also looks pretty okay. According to what I see is it looks pretty okay as long as it is going to hold this 420 and start trading above 427. It has a good potential. Uh, it has a potential to move towards this 435 to 440. So there's a good upside which is possible in JSW Steel as what I can see here. So let's look at some of the cement counters. I'll also look at the Hindalco because that is also trading at a very, see, all these steel companies are doing extremely good. Okay, Hindalco, see the difference between Hindalco and JSW Steel is in JSW Steel is um, it had actually gone down and it has actually trying to take support. It has started going higher. Now in Hindalco, it has already gone higher. Now it has come back and now it is again trying to take some support. Overall, both of them looks pretty good, and I think Hindalco is also quite good placed. Let's look at this, and we are at all-time highs also. I think it's pretty good. So overall looks, yeah, overall as long as 330 is being held, so this can be your stop loss. 325, see 323 can be your stop loss. As long as we can hold this 330 levels, we should easily go to 340 or 350 levels, or probably even cross this. So quite possible. This is actually Hindalco is out of all the stocks, if I have to tell you, Hindalco is the strongest. Next strongest is JSW Steel, and third is actually Tata Steel. As per what we are seeing the strength at this point of time, but it doesn't mean that it is actually going to work the same way. Market can do whatever it wants tomorrow in the live market. So let's look at what is happening with Ambuja Cement. Let's look at some cement counters, what actually is going to happen. Let me remove this. Overall, this is also at all-time highs, so looks pretty good for me. So let's see what is happening. Today it has not done much of a good thing, but let's see if there is any good buying. It has come here. It is trying to take some support. As of now, for me, today's low should not get broken. It's very important. We are almost nearby to that. So as long as see today it is what is the price? The low is 284, and we are close at 285. So the thing is, as long as we can hold on to today's low, because there's not much of a difference there. So as long as we can hold there, I think it should actually give us a good support. And if that is going to happen, we should easily test 290 and probably 300. 290, 300 is quite possible in Ambuja Cement. Ambuja Cement is also at all-time highs. So the stop loss is going to be quite small here. But main thing is it should hold today's low. Or else if you want to keep, let it actually start moving higher, then only it makes sense. At this point of time, today whatever has happened in Ambuja Cement not looks that great. But if we are to take a chance, we can still take a chance because the stop loss is very small, hardly 1 rupee. We can actually take that and see how actually it's going to perform. So let's look at what is happening with DLF. So I was telling you DLF could be another big thing. Okay, DLF is in this range. What we can see here, DLF has been moving quite good and it has actually got stuck in this range. So let's see after today, has there been any buy which has happened? Yeah, looks like it is also taking support. So this is actually similar to what we have seen in case of Ambuja Cement. So for today, we have not seen any great movement happening. But if we have to take a chance, we can actually keep today's low as our stop loss, and I probably try to hold. On the hourly chart, it is somehow trying to take the support. If it can take the support, I think it's quite good. The prices are quite attractive at this place. So right now we are at 304 and 301 is the low which has happened. So somewhere around 301, 303 probably you can look at buying, and probably below 300 can be your stop loss. So that should be a pretty low risk versus reward. Overall, this is in this range. If you see here, overall whenever it comes somewhere around this price, somewhere around 290, 293, it is actually having, it actually keeps moving higher. So 300 is another place where it has tried taking support. So if it can take the support and move higher, it has the potential to move towards 320 to 330. That is the range, and if that is going to break, there is actually a much bigger movement possible. So tomorrow we should start seeing some good movement which could happen in DLF, as long as we can see. The thing is, it should break, it should hold today's low, and it should break today's high. That is very important. So today's what is that? Today's low? Today's low is 301. It should hold that, and it should break 306.75. That is around 307. If it starts trading about 307 and higher, and if it can hold on to that and start moving higher, I think it is going to do a fantastic job, because there could be some gap ups which are possible in most of the stocks. And if there are gap ups happening in the stocks which we are talking about, and if you see something called as an open price and the low price are going to be the same in the morning, in the first 15 minutes, you can take the trade keeping below the low as your stop loss, because this is the stocks are looking pretty good, and most of them are looking at the support level. So apart from this, which was the other company which we were talking about, we did about steel, cement, and about reality. I think these are the immediate things which I can correlate to. Okay, I'll also look at Adani ports, because this is where there could be a good move which is quite possible. Adani ports has been doing quite well. Only okay, last 2 days there has been, yesterday it looks like it has taken some support. Let's actually go and look at what is happening. Looks like yesterday it has taken some support after the fall, and yeah, looks pretty good. Let's see if it is taking the support, where it is taking the support. Okay. For Adani ports also, it is the same thing, guys. We are almost at the end of the place. So if you look at the low, it is around 714. 717 is where we have closed. So if we need to hold this 714, very important, and then it has to start going higher, and it needs to break this 735 barrier. If it can break, I think 750 can easily be done, and probably beyond that. 770 is the all-time high. I think it has all the potential to go there. So, as far as what we can see with Adani Ports, the structure is quite strong, and today also we are seeing a good amount of volume which is there. I think it has all the potential to again move higher, and you can see a lot of upgradations happening in most of the brokerage houses. They have been actually upgrading the stock, so I think it looks pretty fine. So these are the stocks for tomorrow, guys. I think these are the stocks where we should start seeing some good movement, and some of the important factors which I want you to observe and have a look. Why actually it could there there is all the possibility that we can make some substantial move because of this. See, look at this. This is the India VIX. So India VIX is more to do with the fear factor of the market, and the fear factor for the market has been completely coming down, and it has actually almost, we have crashed today by almost 5%. So if we do the same thing tomorrow, I think this is going to be moving down quite substantially. uh, there is a possibility of a bounce back also happening. So that is something which we have to be aware of. As long as we don't get any sudden bounce back in this weeks, I think everything is okay. But if we can get that, then actually we have to be very, very, very careful, because that is something which is there. And overall, it is actually the trend is completely down, and there is all the possibility that it is going to break this 40 RSI, which is going to influence it to go a little more down. So that is something which we will be closely watching. This is one thing. And another thing which is very important is from the USD INR. Okay, look at this USD INR also. We have been doing pretty good. As of now, rupee has been appreciating. So this is also very, very good. Now the thing is, we are nearby to the place from where we got this sudden spike. You can see this was a sudden spike, and after that it had influenced the market quite a lot. So we are coming back to this. So we need to ensure that it doesn't spike again. If it is going to spike again, that is also going to create a lot of challenges in the market. If it is not going to spike, and if we actually start slowly going down also, it's going to be very good for the market, at least for the Indian market, because that means that more and more funds are coming to India, which is going to, and with all the initiatives the government is taking, I think there are a lot more funds which are going to come into India. It's not only for the equity market, it is for so many other projects which they're coming out, they're putting the manufacturing unit, so many things are going to happen. This can be a phenomenal thing, because if you see, the trend has been continuously on the downside, so which means that the rupee is appreciating and the dollar is actually depreciating, which is actually quite good. The only thing is now we need to start moving still further down and continue to go down there. That is very, very important. So these are the places where the volatility can actually spike up. If this is going to spike up, or VIX is going to spike up, this is where things can actually go wrong. So you have to actually have some of the things very closely watched. And the final thing is about the 10-year bond yield. Where is this? Yeah, this is the one thing which is actually uh, having all the challenges, right? So every time it goes above 1.6 and all, no, it actually has been creating a problem. As of now, it has started coming down, but still the spike is quite possible. Recently also we had a spike, so we have to keep a close watch on this. So because it has to start trading below this price for it to substantially go down, so which is around 1.45 and below it has to go down, then probably it has all the potential to substantially go down. If it is not going to go down, there is all the potential that it can again give a spike. And this, whenever it gives a spike, it has already created a lot of panic in the market. So we have to closely watch these things at this point of time. Otherwise, overall the market looks pretty good. I don't see any challenge as such, except the volatility is one thing which is going to create a lot of challenges. And see, markets are going to be more on sideways. So if you look at this, the best possible trade opportunities, what I can see here is whenever the market is somewhere around 14,800, 900, these are the best possible places for us to be on the long side. And above 15,200 and above, I think it is better to book the profits and move out. Probably also we can find some shorting opportunities, quite possible. Only if we start going above 15,300, there is a good possibility to go towards 15,500. But this month, bears have been dominating this territory above 15,200, 300 and above. So maybe 15,500 is the peak, and they may actually come down quite strongly, because they have a major influence for this month. This month they have what I can see is bulls have the strength somewhere around 14,500 onwards for this month, and 15,500 from see 15,500, 14,500 to 14,800, 900. This is place where actually bulls are very, very strong, and bears are very, very strong above 15,200 and above. So you need to actually think about this. uh, Ideally speaking, don't trade daily, because the volatility is quite higher. Whenever such opportunities is going to come, you just trade, and whenever the profits are going to come, just book and move out. Don't actually think that it is going to go still more higher. It may go, it may not go. The problem right now, what is happening is, whenever it is going, one day you are in profit, you have not booked the profit, next day that the entire thing is gone. So that is what is actually creating a big problem at this point of time, because the volatility has been a lot. So that is where you have to look more from getting and get out. Don't think too much of don't have too much of positions. Have as limited positions as possible. Let this volatility subside, because this, until unless this volatility is not going to subside, this probably could go on for this entire month. Looking at the way it is, and there are a couple of influences, guys. Very important is, we have to be very careful uh, from this Friday onwards. Between 19th to 22nd, we have to be very, very careful. Preferably avoid holding any positions, because there is all the possibility on see 19th. One is, we have something called as quadruple itching. Now, quadruple itching is what happens in the US market. This is what, on this particular day, uh, once in a quarter, we have something called quadruple itching. Now, in this particular day, this is the third week of the month, we have the option expiry. The futures, option, everything is going to expire. Equity, commodity, currency, everything is going to expire on one single day. So that is where there could be a lot of volatility which could happen, which can actually move in any direction. That is one thing. And secondly, astrologically speaking, there is something called as equinox, which is going to happen on 20th of this month, which is actually not on Friday. It is not on Monday also. It is happening on Saturday. So this effect could happen either on Friday or on Monday on the market. And generally, if you look at any equinox day, market has moved up or down quite substantially. There could be some 4 or 5% movement on the upside, or maybe 3%. So there's generally around 3 to 5% movement happens on that particular day. So we have to be very, very, very careful on that particular day. If you are on the right side, you will make a lot of money. If you're on the wrong side, you will lose a lot of money. So you have to be very, very careful on that. So that is something which is very, very important. Currently, as I am saying, what I can clearly see is, we are in a sideways market, guys. Overall, the market is sideways, and bulls are going to ensure that they are going to hold on to their territory as far as possible. So they are going to defend. They have been defending from 14,500 onwards. So that is what they have been doing. 14,500 and above, they have been defending, and uh, now what is happening with the bears is, the bears are actually trying to attack from 15,200 onwards. So now, where are we going to go? We have to be very, very careful and watch. If we are actually above 15,400, 500, I think by any chance, because of all this news and all, if we move up, it's better that you exit all the longs and wait for the market. If it is going to give you any negative sign, I think you need to look at the shorting opportunity, because that is quite possible to happen at this point of time, because that's what actually the overall market is suggesting us. So be prepared for both the things. At this point of time, buying is the opportunity. At this point of time, selling is not, definitely not the opportunity. Anything above 15,200, 300 is a selling opportunity. Anything below 14,800, 900, this is actually more of a buying opportunity. So think about this. This is what is happening in the market, and I think that's what I wanted to tell all of you. Any questions you have, you can go ahead and ask me. I'll be able to answer all the questions. So you can put it in the comment box in the YouTube also, or all my students here, you can actually ask me. You can unmute yourself and speak also, or you can ask me any questions you have. Dominic, Preetham, Ram, any questions you have? I think others are here on Chandrasekhar, Qureshi.
No, sir, no questions.
No questions, sir.
Yeah. Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, sir, the Nifty at a good support zone, sir. Like tomorrow, there is a possibility of moving like a 200, 300 points, sir.
It's quite possible. See, right now what I am seeing is from the point of view of order flow analysis, which been doing. No? So from that perspective, what is happening is yesterday. Okay, let me show you this. Let me show you from where I'm actually seeing this. See, yesterday, second half onwards, there is a good amount of buying which has happened. So this is for 1 second. This is 15th. So 15th, if I have to see, this is where actually if you look at the chart also, you can see a good amount of buying which has happened from 14,750 onwards. And yesterday we went almost to 15,000. See, yesterday we went till here. I think till where we went up to 930 here in the Nifty. And morning we were actually up till here, so almost we were almost at par with yesterday's high. Okay, now, and if you look at this also, from yesterday and today, if you see, this is where the buying has started coming, and this is actually continuing also. As of now, I see yesterday we see also a good amount of buying which has happened in the future market. Today also I have seen a good amount of buying which has happened in the future market. In the option market also, there is a lot of actually uncovering which has happened. So which clearly suggests that the shorts, especially which have got built in on this Friday, most of these shorts, especially done by these professionals, majority of them, they have actually taken out. If that is the case, tomorrow, this is a very important place for us to watch it. Above 15,050, as long as we are trading and holding on to this, there's a good possibility that we can move very, very high. See, if you look at this from the point of view of a trade at this place, it looks like a cup and handle to me. Let me draw here. If it has not got completed, we have to get it completed. See, if it is going to form this cup and handle, it's quite possible that it forms a cup and handle. So in that case, so this is 750 and this is 500. So 200, 300 points movement is quite possible in Nifty if this is going to happen. See, most important thing is we need to hold 15,050 and we should start trading above that. And we should start seeing a good amount of actually buying interest coming in. Very likely it is going to happen because from the last 2 days, there is a lot of buying which has actually come in what we can see in the future market. So in that case, this should work. And we have seen much more buying which has come in Bank Nifty also. So let's look at the Bank Nifty also. Let me share with you that also. So if I have to look from Bank Nifty may be showing a little on the downside, but the whole thing what is happening is this is where this is 15th, right? Okay, this is 15th. Yeah, 15th onwards, if you see, this is the place from where the buying has actually got started, which is around 34,400 onwards. The buying started coming in. So this has actually, even if you look at this, it is still the same place. It is actually made a higher low only. This is not a new low which has got formed. And the buying, we can see good amount of buying in the future, which has happened even in the Bank Nifty. So for me, what I'm more interested is 34,500 500. This is very important for me to break. So, and if this is going to break, I think there's a good move. Here there is a this cup and handle is quite possible, but this is not looking that great compared to what is there in the Nifty. But overall, this is an important resistance for us to first to break. So let it break, and if it is going to break, let's see, because this news is also there. See, the main challenge is there was no news for the market to go up, and after this news, whatever has come, there is also possible that they are talking about the budgets and all. There could be some more news which could come from the point of view of automobiles, because they were talking about the scrappage policy in the budget, right? Because I have been seeing a lot of automobile stocks are doing extremely good. The buying has actually been quite good today. Let me show you. This is actually, it was quite flat for Tata Motors, but there's a good it has actually started moving up. So if you see, there is a double bottom kind of a formation, and it has started moving higher. So there is a good potential. As long as we hold this 320 levels, we should go towards the 330 or 340, 335 kind of levels, which are quite possible in Tata Motors. And because it's not only one company, I could see this happening in most of the companies. This is where actually influence is happening. Okay, this is okay. It is still stuck here, but it is trying to take support at this place. 230 is where it is trying to take support. So this is in Apollo tires, and let's look at what is there anything which is going to happen in the auto index. Let's see. Auto index has actually made a kind of reversal here. So if it is going to hold this, I think there could be a good move which is going to come in the automobile sector also. Looks pretty good, because here you can see the hammer formation here. No? This is actually looking good, but we should have got a little more better length. But overall, it looks pretty good. And today also there is a good amount of buying interest which has come in. So there is also possibility that if they are going to talk, there could be some announcement which they may do on the automobile also, which can trigger this. See, generally, if the FIs, DIs, they want to move out the money and all, in that case, this is the ideal time, ideal opportunity, because more and more news are there, more and more good news are there. When the prices are probably moving higher, that is a good place for them to actually exit their positions and move out, if they have to move out. Mainly because the bond yields have moved out, I think definitely there will be some amount of funds which are going to go out. That is definitely going to be there, but how much is something which we have to see. If it is not going to be something which is substantial, I think it will not make any big influence. We also have to see what is happening with today. Have we got this I'm just waiting for the data coming from FI buying. Is there buying or selling? What has happened today? Okay, as I was expecting, today we are seeing a good buying which has come in. So if you see this, guys, this is what actually you need to understand. See, look at this. We have 1,692 crores of buying which has happened. See, for the last 2 days, we have seen the sell figures, and last 3 days also, but this was very small. So you can see that we have a buy figure which has come in. So now tomorrow, if they can take the prices up, which actually looks like they may take the prices up, there is a news, there is levels, everything actually looks good. And if they are going to take the prices, I think it is pretty good, because look at this. This is the exact same place. I think it is actually last month, so we can't get the data here, the day wise. Okay, let's see if it is there. Day wise it is there here, right? Okay, see, this is the day where we had this glitch. Remember, the glitch had happened in the market, and look at the data here. 28,739 crores is what the buying they had done. And this is the same level, guys. 14,800 is the level which they are going to defend. They will not give out so easily, because that is the level. On one, see, on the intraday or probably one single day, there could be some sell-off which is happening, that you would have seen that we had come below 14,400, 500 also on the intraday basis. But after that, see, it can go low, but it cannot stay low. That's something which you need to understand. So any such thing happens, that is a good opportunity for you to look for a buy. 14,300, 500, these are going to be very good, strong support areas. If by any chance, for any reason we go there, I think it is going to be a very good place for us to look for buying opportunities. So it could happen because of this equinox thing and all, whatever I'm saying, no, because the market can actually fluctuate. But first, right now, looks like a good rally is going to happen, and after that, we may also get a selling opportunity also. So be prepared for both the things, and we will take a decision about it. Any other questions, Ram?
Sir, no, sir, that's it.
Okay. Okay. Fine. If there's no other questions, guys, I think we can make a move. I think we are done for today.